Welcome back to the Stephen Knight Show. Our next guests are from the cast of the award-winning unfiltered podcast entitled CTT Podcast. Please help me welcome two of the cast. We have JB and a true lady. Welcome to the show.
Yes.
Appreciate
Thank you for having us on your platform.
Absolutely. And first of all, let me congratulate you on, I know the 8th season is coming, but congratulations on 8
Yes.
Yes, I can only imagine, just the work that goes into that. But tell us,
Yes.
what was the inspiration behind starting this podcast 7, 8 years ago?
Wow. So I actually was doing podcasting longer than that. I was doing my own show on like Podomatic, and it was just me doing my radio show.
Yeah.
And then I actually got on radio, and I was like, how do I bring the listening audience from radio to a digital space? So I started just blogging, doing things on Instagram that coincide with what I was doing on air. And then I was like, okay, let me do a podcast. And then I started meeting people who wanted to do a podcast, and we did a podcast together. Then I did my own podcast. So it was actually like a journey to get to that part. So yeah.
Absolutely. And JB, what do you like about being on this platform, CTT?
You really want to know that else? Nah. I mean, damn. That's a good question for me because nobody never asked that. To be real, shit, I'm just being me.
Yeah.
You're not gonna get what my homeboys and them see is what everybody get to see. Take it or leave it.
Yeah.
That's how filtered it. That's how unfiltered it is. It's take it or leave it.
Take it or leave it. Take it or leave it. And we get a lot doing podcasts. You get a lot of feedback from the audience. Some people agree with you, some people don't agree with you. How do you all deal with the feedback?
I'm in the comments waiting on your ass.
Yeah.
I'm in the comment. I'm in the comments lurking. I'm looking. See, I kind of pat myself after Stone Cold Steve Austin, that blue collar worker that was just like, you know what? How are you telling me what to do? How about I tell your ass what to do? Okay, yeah, that's what I'm gonna do.
Yeah.
It just happens, man. For me, a podcast is a place where you can just talk your talk.
Yeah.
Unless you
Your opinions.
Unless you sign to somebody and they gotta tell you, hey, you gotta do it like this, you gotta say it like this.
Yeah. What about you, True?
I think for me, when it comes to like people's response and having a different perspective, I actually embrace it because I want to hear what you have to say. I know that I'm not always right. Mm-hmm. And I want to hear what other people have to say. I'm like, oh, wow, you know what? That was an interesting take, So I'll be in the comments as well, reading and seeing like, okay, that was an interesting thought about it. Or that was an interesting perspective.
Yeah.
I don't let it say how I feel, but I just love to hear what people have to say. People's feedback it's important.
I agree.
I'm in the comments like I am on the show.
Exactly.
Yeah,
that's me. That's me. How I am on the show is how I am in the comments. Say something I don't like, I'm on you. All right.
Well, I gotta congratulate you all because you were number 5 in Louisiana, number 5 spot in Louisiana, and took on favorite podcast of the year by the esteemed Southern T Awards. Those honors, how did that feel getting recognized like that?
I'll let JB go first.
I'm gonna start with the award night, okay? Yeah. So we get our name called. She's still sitting there in shock and awe. So we get up there now. I go up first. I'm looking at myself walk up these steps like, this ain't mine.
Right.
Why am I first? Where is she? She all the way in the back talking about something. Well, got JB in the front. He gonna hold it down up there. I just bring up the rear. No, this award is yours. We get hours later. You take the award first. No, it didn't work like that. I touched the award first. I gotta start off the whole doggone thing with accepting the award and everything. And I'm like, this is cool, but you, a true lady, you need to be here. You need to start this off. We come after you. And then eventually it went down the line and somehow it got down there to her, and she said what she said, and I'm like, well, just go ahead and put me on spot. Why don't you? All right. Well, yeah, hey, here. We like it. Yeah, that's how I was. I wasn't shocked. I was like, okay, anybody else gonna move with me? Anybody else gonna get up? Everybody else just sitting down there like, we won. I'm like, in my mind, I'm like, okay, we won. So can we just go on up there while everybody just sitting here looking back at us like, y'all gonna move? Y'all gonna gonna walk up there? I'm sitting over here like, can somebody tell Kim, tell her come back? Hey, come back. Come back. Time to go. It's time to walk on stage now. Time to walk on stage. That's how it was. That's basically how that went. Was like, I'm here. Somebody else got up. Okay, the other two waiting on. Oh, why True Lady still sitting there? Why? Hey, you. Hey, snap out of it. Come on.
Right. What True Lady?
Wow, because in that moment, I was not expecting us to win, honestly, because of who we were in the category with, And I was like, oh my gosh, we're not gonna win it. You don't have like an expectation, right? Like, okay, we're not going to win this award. And they said our name, and it was the crowd of people's reaction when they said our name won. So I was like, oh, okay, this crowd does listen to the podcast. Or they are aware of the podcast. I'm like, wow, okay. Then I started thinking about just the entire journey of the podcast. Like, a lot was going through my mind at that time. I was like, I've been through this with the show. I've been through this. I almost said I don't want a podcast anymore. I almost gave it up. Like, and to be recognized in that moment was, major for me. I was like, wow, okay. And then I also started thinking about the future. I'm like, okay, if this happened here, what else is to come, right? So it continued to fuel that fire and for me to push forward and keep going. But like JB said, I literally was sitting there like for a good little while, like, what is going on? Like trying to take it all in.
Yeah.
And when it comes to us being the number 5 spot in Louisiana, that was amazing in itself, because at first we were number 10. And I was like, okay, 10. Like I was excited about the 10, like 10. And then to go back and check it again for it to be 5, I'm like, what? I'm like, okay, wait. So people are listening, people are streaming, people are tuning in, and it just gives you that fuel, like, okay, keep going, don't stop. But it was an amazing feeling.
Congratulations.
To just be recognized for a lot of the hard work, like a lot of hard work goes into podcasting, and I don't think a lot of people understand that,
Absolutely. Well, congratulations on both of those things. Let's talk about some of the segments you have. So first we have CTT hymn preparation. Tell us about that.
Oh, look, the hymn of preparation is what starts the show off. Okay, like it's like karaoke style version of us singing songs, whatever song we in the mood for. You never know what you're gonna get, honestly. So whatever we start singing is gonna be like me fumbling through the lyrics, JB taking it old school, or he might hit us with some old school hip hop. You got Nova J. She gonna make up her own song in the moment. Then you got Tiana, he's gonna sit there, he's gonna try to catch the tune, and he's like, I remember that song, So it's like our version of like a karaoke style singing.
Okay.
And like we pay attention to a lot of podcasts, they have music come on in the beginning. But I was like, I don't want any copyright infringements. I don't want to have to pay somebody royalties. We gonna sing the songs.
I like that.
I would say the hymn of preparation is like that. It's basically what it is. The hymn of preparation.
Right.
It's that part.
Set the tone.
That part of Sunday service Well, before the pastor get up there and say it's gonna be either Pass Me Not or Amazing Grace or something. Well, with us, it's about 6 or 12 of them, and there is no pastor. The doors are just gonna open. That's just how it goes. That's just how it goes.
And JB, how do you determine what hot topics you're going to talk about on the particular episode?
Whatever the hell these crazy ass idiots and these crazy ass celebrities do.
Right.
And whatever else craziness we have. See, the best year we had was when Agent Orange was in office. You see, Agent Orange gave us so much.
He gave us a lot of material.
It was you didn't know, they tell him to stop tweeting. He continued to tweet.
Yeah.
He was throwing it out there, but sometimes it gets slow, and then we have to sit there and give you a show off the top of our head.
Right.
And you don't know how in the hell the damn show gonna turn out. It just happens. It just happens. It just happens. You never know what you're gonna get. You might get topics, you might not. You might just get a whole episode of a rant.
A rant.
Yeah, that has definitely happened.
From either me or the rest of us. You never know.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and so like everybody contributes their own type of topics to the show, right? So like what everyone feels like talking about. And it's like JB said, a lot of weeks there aren't things to talk about. So you have to get creative.
Yeah.
And I like to find those one-off topics that I've listened to a couple of podcasts throughout the week, and I'm like, okay, nobody talked about this that was trending on TikTok.
Yeah.
So we're gonna talk about what was trending on TikTok.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Or no one saw these threads of tweets. Let's talk about this thread of tweet, and that way we can use the clip of that and throw it under that thread, which garners people to come back and listen, because like, oh, y'all talked about this, nobody else did,
Right.
So
yeah,
it's a task in itself to create content
to
like stand along with everyone else, but also
have
do your own thing too.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I get that.
Make it make sense. Gotta make it make sense.
Yeah.
Exactly. And that's why I think it's so important for everyone to have their own personality, because we can still talk about the same topics, but we're giving a total different perspective. Like I was just listening to an episode with me and JB, and we were talking about we were naming villains. I was explaining how I can understand the villain. The villain name, it ain't right, but I understand how the villain is started. And JB just started naming all of these villains. And I was like, yeah, he was a villain. We gotta make moments like that.
You do. Yeah, definitely. What about CTT Confessions?
CTT Confession is user submitted.
You can fill
out the form to submit your confessions. And these are usually people that are just want to confess and get things off of their chest.
Right.
I used to go through the HBCU confession and read theirs, and we would give our opinion, we would give our advice, but then we took it a step further and started doing our own confession. So every week we're confessing something on the podcast, which also sparked a conversation, because we're like, well, what got you feeling like that this week that you need? This is what you confess,
right?
How
we get
and actually,
I already got mine for the first episode. It's a shocker. It's gonna be a shocker.
I got a couple of them. I can't wait for season 8. They loaded in the tuck.
I'm gonna shock the audience. This one, Lord.
And the show, Confessions actually used to be Ask a Lady questions when I was just doing Ask a Lady questions by myself.
Yeah.
But doing the confessions, because we used to do live shows too, like audiences would come and sit into the live show.
Yeah.
That was an interactive way of getting the audience involved. So it just translated over to the actual podcast itself. So
I got you.
Yeah.
And then we have CTT Jeopardy.
Ooh. I'm gonna let JB talk about that.
Go ahead, JB.
I'm gonna let JB talk about that.
So what had happened was, I ain't gonna lie, I had been misled, bamboozled, ran amok. I had been cheated, swindled. I had been squeezed out of all these doggone damn CTT jeopardies, man.
Yeah,
I'm
you
like,
was cheated a few times.
I ended up 5-0, and then lost everyone since. I quit on the show. I threw the marker, I threw the board, I threw the eraser. I told him I quit. Don't ask me no more questions. I ain't playing the damn game no more. Then here she come talking about something. Well, why don't you ask the questions?
Yes.
Okay, now. Yeah, I'll make them fight for their life every chance I get.
Every week.
They fight for their life. You don't know where I'm coming from. I might be coming from the chapters of the Black history.
Mm-hmm.
I might be coming from niggerdom. I might be coming from Mars, Jupiter,
everything.
Saturn,
some everything.
Pluto, Neptune. You never know. We got a question out there right now. She don't know the answer to it.
We still don't know the answer to this question because JB said I don't have their phone anymore.
I don't. And the crazy part is in my notes. It's in that phone, in them notes, and them notes didn't transfer over. There's nothing I can do about it. But it's gonna be more fighting for their life. It's gonna be more fighting for their life this year. I might take it easy on them. I might. There ain't gonna be no EGOT questions in there. I know that. Right. I know that for a fact.
But yeah, so like that's our trivia portion of the show. And like JB said, he was losing every week, right?
Right.
So me, like from a producing, because I not only am I on the show, I'm producing it right at the same time. So it's like you have to start delegating and giving things to certain people to do. Right. So I'm like, okay, let JB be over the CTT Jeopardy. And it's like, now I'm like, what I did that for? Because like every time he come with these questions and we just sitting there like, because he asked something about a Black scientist and we was like, you just never know where he was going to come from with these questions. But sometimes now to go with the CTT Jeopardy.
Sometimes I don't even do the show. I just be like, you know what? Y'all handle it. Y'all, you can catch me on camera looking at my phone, smiling like, ooh.
You already know.
This is a good one here. Yeah, I'm take this one. Yeah.
Well, when can we?
But the goal with CTT Jeopardy is now for us to take those Jeopardy questions into the streets and have people answer them on camera. So I'm really looking forward to that. I'm really excited about that because just to see what people's reaction is going to be. Are they going to be just as stumped as us when we ask them these questions? So, yeah.
Don't let me ask the questions.
What can we expect? And when is season 8 gonna drop? When we gonna start hearing new episodes?
So actually, you're the first podcast to know. We actually start recording. We record the first episode tomorrow. So look forward to drop Saturday.
Okay. Congratulations.
I'm excited about it because I sent them the topic list. When it was yesterday, JB.
I got things to say.
And it's long. Okay, we're gonna tap in everything that's been happening these past 2 months because 2024 really started off real reckless.
Yeah.
And we have things I know for sure. Oh my goodness. So I'm really excited that we're getting ready to film the first episode and getting ready to release it and drop it. I'm so excited about that.
That's dope. I can't wait. I can't wait to see it. Where can everyone keep up with the podcast? Where can we check it out and keep up with all things you all have going on?
Okay, yes, definitely. You can follow the podcast at CTT Media Group on all platforms: Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, Snapchat, TikTok. I mean, any social media platform. You can stream the podcast under Catch the T Podcast on Spotify, iTunes, Google Playlists, SoundCloud, anywhere that you listen to podcasts. Also, subscribe to our Patreon. That is where you're going to see the video content first. We want to funnel everyone to our Patreon to see those video clips and those videos of the show. And just connect with us. Just connect with us. CTT Media Group. There'll be anywhere you'll find the podcast with the hashtag CTT Podcast. That hashtag.
A true lady,
Jay, you have anything online?
Thank you so much.
Find me online.
I'm sorry, what were you supposed to say?
What you said, true lady?
I was gonna say thank you so much for joining us tonight. Congratulations again on season 8. Again, our thanks goes out to the cast of CTT Podcast for joining us. And for more information, go to our website at StephenKnightShow.com. Wish you continued success. And we'll right back.
Thank you so much for having us.
Appreciate it. Thanks for having us.